Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, thanks.
So tell me about these, Rod.
𝘼𝙢𝙚𝙧𝙞𝙘𝙖 really sick. You know, another Miami artist, which is cool. Florida boys as well with Jason Scythe. You know, this room really like popped with both these really, you know, big pieces. But everyone always like, you know, sees this at first. They see the rug type of vibe, then they stand closer, and then they realize like the emojis, you know. So like that's really sick to me. The whole thing is just
it's like an amazing modern mosaic.
Yeah.
A digital one at that. So obviously, especially in tune with the youth. So yeah, I'm sure you can get people stare at this for hours.
Yeah, for sure. And then another like small piece that really is one of my favorites, like just changes the whole hallway in the house. But Matt McCormick, you know, I love the wave, I love the red that kind of pops on top, and then what caught my eye was like, man, are those Red Bull cans in that?
That was definitely my pitch, you know.
For sure, that's a good call by you. But yeah.
But yeah, no, Matt's stuff is incredible. He's been one of the artists I've always been keen on. I started collecting him, and you know, he's such a great dude. He's been so successful and has been killing it recently. But yeah, he's an amazing artist. So I was really happy that Reilly connected with this piece too. So I felt like it definitely expanded and added a lot to his collection.
This is my first piece actually. I bought this from Matt over a year ago.
Yeah.
That's actually crazy, right around a year ago. You know, Matt recommended Thrush to me a while ago. I've always loved Thrush, but as a first piece especially, it brought so much life to my house. I actually had it where the Freddy was. And in the kitchen it pops, like especially in the morning when it's early, you know, having my coffee here.
So Thrush was obviously incredible. I was super happy to get Thrush into Reilly's house and into his collection. But more importantly than ever, one of the many intents of showcasing collections and showcasing our series, the Art of Collecting, is to show how people, and show the adventure of how people started collecting certain things and what got them into certain things and what then I think expanded that. So art is super interesting because I think it's, correct me if I'm wrong, it's incredibly contagious. You know, this is the Thrush he first bought, and now, you know, right after, I think, you know, there's like an immediate desire to like, what else, you know, which other wall space do I have to fill? Like, how do I decorate and just add more life to this? Because you see it, and especially Thrush, it's so dynamic with the neon and the mixed composition, and you know, the painting itself is super sick, and then the neon just adds to it. So it's just an incredible piece that obviously everyone comments on at night, in the morning. Yeah. You know, it's living. It really is.
As Matt knows, this is, you know, I was patient for this guy, I had my eyes on him for a while. Just came in, you know, less than a week ago. But yeah, obviously what caught my eye was the colors. And I mean, everything just pops. And I love the message here. That's what Freddie's kind of known for in my mind, just like the cool writings and also the hidden messages in here, like soul and fire that like you don't really see unless it's in person. And also when you see the oils in real life, like how it all kind of comes out at you is crazy. So this is definitely my favorite piece and my favorite artist.
No, absolutely. And Freddie's a close friend. He's become an even closer friend of us. Recently, we definitely are huge fans of him. He's not only a great person, but an amazing artist. Obviously, this was particularly cool, especially for Reilly. You know, the irony in 7-footer, you know, I'm easy to find, is needless to say.
Heard that a lot.
Cool. But no, Freddie's work is just really, it's like surreal, yet, you know, hyper realistic, but also like whimsical, and obviously definitely pops, but it definitely just, you know, evokes a lot of, I think, sensations and brings definite joy, but also I think just kind of like allows your mind to wander and kind of imagine, you know. But yeah, ultimately I think it's just definitely good vibes. So
yeah,
I was proud to connect Reilly and Freddie, and obviously super proud to have a piece of Freddie's, you know, vision here. You know, especially Freddie's an enormous tennis fan, so it's cool just connecting dots.
Yeah.
And you know, bringing all sorts of different worlds together.
We started this Art of Collecting series, launched it on my birthday in April, and the whole intent was to really showcase and help highlight, you know, really the process and tradition of collecting, especially for men, and, you know, focusing around art and all the peripheral things like that, whether sneakers, watches, you know, vintage tees for Reilly, accessories, etc. But yeah, with that said, Reilly, where did your collecting begin?
I collected a few things when I was young. You know, the normal like basketball cards. Pretty much every hooper you can find. Tracy McGrady, the collection. This is like, you know, 8, 9 bobbleheads, and then it obviously advanced as I got older and other things started interesting me.
So yeah, talking fashion, shoes, you know, we met through Del Toro, through his love for shoes, through him being a huge guy and having big feet and not necessarily having the easy time finding footwear. So we started, you know, he started buying a bunch of the in-stock models, and then we started talking some custom stuff. So this is an example of a pair we did together. One of my favorite pairs. Always been a fan of blue. The embroidery was tight. It's kind of like a preppy, kind of, you know, tennis-esque application to it. So yeah.
No, that's the hard part right there. So I was 17. Obviously, I met Matt through Del Toro. I was a huge fashion guy. That's kind of where it all started. So I've always been kind of collecting vintage tees. Obviously with tennis, I travel the world. I go to a lot of places, and there's always like, you know, vintage tees all over. Some of my favorites, I also love Led Zeppelin, 70s, 80s music in particular. So most of the tees that I collect and wear, I actually listen to music, which a lot of people in our generation nowadays, not to call anyone out, but they'll be wearing like
a lot of Megadeth tees.
Yeah, a lot of Megadeth tees, a lot of Grateful Dead tees, and they've never even heard a song. So like most of these, obviously I'm a big fan of the music as well, particularly Led Zeppelin. So yeah, I got some old ones. This one's actually my favorite right now. It's pretty sick. Old Zeppelin, and it's also hard to find like authentic like 1980s, 1970s shirts that fit me, you know. So whatever I can come by in my size, I grab. I love the Eagles. This Eagle one's pretty sick. I wear a lot of blue as well, so this one's real hard. I love Queen. This was one of my favorites. This Queen guy, and I think I found this one in France, actually, randomly in Bordeaux at one of the tournaments. I was like, what? And it's pretty sick. We were walking by a vintage tea spot. Yeah, I got a lot of Zeppelin, Jimmy Page, Robert Plant here, cards. I got a ton of vintage tees from that era, 70s, 80s in particular. This one I got into, Grateful Dead. And also you can tell I'm a Chrome Hearts fan. I love accessories, I love their jewelry, and I love all their glasses. The detail on them is like really sick, kind of completes a lot of pieces. The gold trim here is beautiful. The blue tin lens, like I said, I wear a lot of blue, so these kind of just go with everything. I bought a lot of these in different Chrome Hearts stores, you know. I think these ones I bought in the store in Tokyo. This pair in France. A lot of these ones also in Miami. So yeah, something I like to do on my downtime when I'm on the road competing is popping around Chrome Hearts stores, fashion, vintage tees, art galleries. That kind of keeps me sane on the road. The young guys, there's not too many into art, you know. So like I've been dragging some of my boys to galleries around the world.
Taylor, Tommy owes us. You know, he's been promised us he's gonna get his collecting.
Yeah,
now No, but I think even tying back to McEnroe, let's talk about, you know, how damn sexy tennis used to be.
Yeah.
You know, and how in the 80s, let's say, it was so iconic, and you know, like tennis players are rock stars.
They were cool.
They were the coolest, you know, like they're hanging out with Mick Jagger, they're doing everything and anything that you could imagine that was cool. Yeah. And so yeah, you talk about guys like John McEnroe and really how he was, you know, such an iconic guy in all terms of design, especially whether he's art collecting, whether it's style on the court, you know, those OG McEnroe Nikes and all of that.
Yeah.
You know, it's awesome seeing, you know, the young generation now of young American tennis players, because I think it's, you know, like fashion, everything is full circle. You know, tennis has gone through obviously the years of being super Euro and, you know, being dominated by the legends of Fed and Nadal, that now there's, you know, definitely a new era. And whether it's, you know, you guys as the young Americans or Nick, you know, Kyrgios or a bunch of these guys, you guys are definitely, you know, different and unique, you know, whether it's fashion, whether it's, you know, Nick in basketball, you know, I think it's a new edge and a new whole appeal. But yeah, first artwork purchase, we spoke about it a little bit earlier.
Yeah, Thrush. Thrush was my first purchase of, you know, anything that was significant, and you stood out to me. Obviously, the neon pops like crazy for a first piece. It's you know, it changes the whole mood of the room. You know, that's one of the first pieces people comment on when they come in the house. You know, it's like, wow, that is really sick. So Thrush really got me started, and then, you know, one thing led to another, and like just a year later, I mean, we got, you know, 7, 8 cool pieces in here.
100%. You get going and you only want to continue and accelerate that. So I think, you know, with that said, what influences you most when purchasing artwork, sneakers or vintage tees?
Yeah, I mean, geez, when I'm purchasing art, a lot. You know, there's just like every piece is different. Like the one, just for example, the Freddie, the I am easy to find. You know, like message in it, the colors for that one was simple, it popped. The McCormick that we were just talking about, like I was like, yo, are those Red Bull cans in there? Like that was sick to me, hit home. And then even, you know, the Atom, you know, lavender and blue are my 2 favorite colors. So it could be something as simple as
like that,
color.
like the texture.
Yeah, and the linen nature of it, that ties in everything. So I think it's just important, whatever emotional, you know, connection you might have. I always say, I think what's especially important is, you know, art is a beautiful thing. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's what you want to make of it. It's what makes you happy. There's no right or wrong answer to it. So I think that's what's significant and especially cool.
Yeah.
It's like, it's what you like, you know, and that's what it's important in my eyes, developing that individualism and that ability to decide what makes you happy and what's your style.
Yeah.
This is just, you know, the art of collecting is the study of design. You know, it's really about, you know, the downright, you know, nature of it. It's all about style.